But as you can see, she's really smoking. Well, we knew this day may come. It looks like it has. If you look out the front, things are smoking. I think that's a telltale sign that the Balmar, the second alternator, has given up the ghost. So I'm going to have to go underneath it and unplug it now. And
man, it stinks.
yeah, she's fried.
Is she?
She's fried.
I hope that's what it is.
So it's been fine up to this point. We've, you know, it's been whining and making a noise, but it's been working. But we knew eventually it probably was going to die.
And we definitely look at the batteries and what they're doing and making sure they're charging and all that stuff.
On the way from the last hike, we made it about 6 miles, 7 miles, and it was going down and it was doing a negative 109, 110, 115 amps of draw. So you could tell it was doing some stuff it wasn't supposed to do. So I pulled over as soon as I could. And
it is smoking, and
it is.
We didn't realize it was smoking until we pulled over, which...
Now, I just need to figure out how to disconnect this.
All right.
And it's raining. We have 0 bars of service. So I got back here and put Dishy up so we can research making sure we know exactly how to take this apart and do it right. But as you can see, she's really smoking. I need to double check on her again.
Disappointing. All I can say.
Very disappointing. First thing I have to do is cut the heat shield that I created off.
And you got that zip tied on?
Yeah, with a stainless steel zip tie.
So he's going to zip tie the wire.
Yeah.
From the bottom. I'm not sure. I'm sure he'll explain it to you. I'm not really sure what.
Okay, so here's the Balmar, the red alternator that's a second alternator for the Ekko. Disconnected the cable, and now I need to start the motor and see if the belt is spinning freely, and if it is, we'll be able to have air conditioning. If it's not, I'll have to cut that belt, which means we will not have air conditioning while we're driving for the remainder of the trip. So that may make a difference in our planning, but okay, it is spinning. We will have air conditioning, so it is spinning, and we'll just keep an eye on it. We'll have to run the generator now to power the battery so we can continue to boondock.
So we didn't have any signal out here, so we did have to put up the Starlink just to get signal to research and make sure. I mean, Owen's researched this thing to death, but he wanted to make sure that, you know, he unplugged everything correctly. We called Grant.
Yeah, we actually used Starlink to call Grant Wilson at Freedom Van Gogh, and he pulled off the road and walked me through what I needed to do to make sure we disconnected everything properly. And Grant, thanks, buddy. We appreciate you, little fuzzy-headed guy. We like you a lot. And now I just need to take... I almost forgot. I almost got in the van and started driving, leaving Dishy up. But I need to take Dishy back down because we were telling you before, if you get out here in the middle of nowhere and you have an emergency, which is what we just had, we used to have a satellite communicator. I don't think I could have gotten in touch with Grant with that, but it was good to have. But now if we have an issue, first thing I'll do is just put Dishy up. We'll connect up to the internet, and then we're good to go. So now I just need to stow his little butt again so I can put him back in the... There he goes.
All right.
He'll pour water on me.
Yep.
And we'll take him down and
get
to going.
Figure out what we're doing next.
I think the only difference that this will do to us is we'll have to run the generator while we're rolling down the road, which means the generator uses about 1/4 of a gallon of gas per hour. So while we're driving, that's how we'll charge the batteries.
So we've let it run a little bit. He's just going to check under the hood just to see if everything, the belt's moving, running, and everything looks okay. Looks okay.
Wow.
That was scary.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that this might happen.
We talked about it before we left for this trip. We just about didn't come on the trip because of the possibility of this happening early on. And
it's just such a remote area.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it did catch on fire and if it did ruin things under the hood and stuff, it would be really hard to get something to tow us and get it to a dealership and get it fixed enough for us to at least get home or get to Iowa or wherever we're going. So.
And we were just lucky that time. So one of the things I just do is bring up the Lithionics battery monitor and check to see how it's doing. And for about 2 minutes, it was 35 amps negative while we were going down the road, which is not should be happening. And then it went to like a negative 125, negative 130. And at that point, I knew something was wrong. Stopped and found this little place. And I had to change clothes because I was soaking wet from getting up underneath there. But now we have a very difficult decision to make because we literally are about as far away from home as we could be. We have paid for the ferry to get over here. Our next major stop is a place that the Vikings landed, about as far north in Newfoundland as you can go.
What is 6 hour drive from
It's a 6 hour drive from here straight north, and it is extremely isolated. But you know what? I don't know. We'll talk about it. I guess you guys will know when we know whether we're going or whether we're going back and seeing if we can get on a waiting list for the ferry. But we're not folks to give up, so we'll see how that goes. Right now we have the generator running. It's saying it'll take 2 hours and 21 minutes to charge completely with just the generator. Not very much solar coming in today.
Well, it's raining.
So how are you feeling? What do you think? Scary?
Yeah, that scared me a lot. I mean, you know, just seeing all the smoke and stuff come out, and you know,
we've had other friends and other folks that we know on the Facebook group for Echoes that they've literally caught on fire and it's burned up the inside of the engine and compartment. And
can do a lot of damage.
And you know, the one guy even said, how do you put out a fire and watch your pet if you have a pet and you're traveling solo? And so you have to worry about that. What do you grab? And these two are the most important things in my life. So we would get you guys out, and I don't know what else. Watch it burn. Grab the marshmallows. I mean, what can you do, right?
No, we wouldn't do that. But they did say too, and this is, you know, a thing that I wasn't really aware of, is that little bitty fire extinguisher that we have did not put their fire out.
Yeah, it was not good enough to put out an electrical fire. So you should carry multiple types of fire extinguishers.
We will definitely.
Should carry gloves that are fireproof so you can reach underneath there and disconnect it if you had to. I don't know. I worried about a lot of things with my Revel, but never about it catching on fire. And never leaving us stranded.
Never with the Travato.
2,500 miles away from home.
And with the Travato, I mean, we went all the way to Alaska and we didn't worry about it leaving us stranded. So
I don't know. Right now we're a little down, but we'll fix that.
I think right now we're just going to figure out if we can live with the generator.
Not like we can go do the hike we want to do either. I know. When it pours, it rains.
It does.
Beautiful place for it to pour and rain, though. So this is what we drove up here to see, the Arches Provincial Park. A lot like the rocks and the arches that we saw at Hopewell Rocks. We're both kind of flustered right now too, because you can imagine this takes the winds out of your sails when a piece of equipment fails that you depend on so much. Having to give Lynn a lesson on the 4 ways that we charge our house battery too, and
just making sure I fully understand.
Right, you gotta know everything about it in order to be able to help me make the right decision. So.
think you can park here overnight.
Yep.
It's on Overlander.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that.
You can see arches. Look. Wowzers, that's really cool. I hope you guys can see that. We'll probably show you a little better in a minute. We're gonna sit and talk and rest a little bit and do some gazintas. That's a lovely sound, isn't it? Not a great sound, but I'm telling you, we're really glad we have a generator. We've always said it gives us options, and it really is giving us options right now. So now, we're here, it's raining, but we're going to walk down and take a look at the arches. Get in the car, kids.
Why did they say they were decent? Look at those. They're huge.
Not the easiest to walk on, but look at this. This is really, really neat. Ta-da! Hello! Hello! Lynn just pointed out that it's not raining in here. Hello! Hello! Winnebago sucks!
Do it again.
Do it again. I almost got that one.
No.
Just about fell.
Doing my best this stuff.
I know. I can't walk on it. It's slick.
Really good.
I might have to stay here till the water comes in.
Then what?
Swim back up.
Oh.
I don't know. Isn't that beautiful, guys? Look at that.
The rocks are really beautiful too here. But a little big for me to be carried in the van.
What?
But give me one of these big rocks to carry in the van.
It does. It looks like an Easter egg, doesn't it? Look how beautiful that is. That isn't a rock. Wow. So I guess you're keeping that, aren't you?
I think so, maybe.
That's the reason. That's the reason that. It's one of the reasons that as we go on a trip, we progressively more and more get less and less gas mileage because the van gets heavier and heavier. But I love her. She likes to collect things. That's okay. She collected me.
Look at all these little rocks just laying up here on the side of the Rock of the Arches. It's really cool.
I can say that this is living proof that the nerves of our butt have not been crossed with the nerves of our eyes. Because even though that happened today, we're still having a good time, and there's no way that we're having a crappy outlook on today. So, yeah, you get it.
Look, Emily, I found 2 rocks that Mother Nature has already painted. Aren't they pretty?
Underneath these arches here. Happy birthday, Early. We love you. Is that something we drove up here to see these arches? But we're talking more about the rocks. That's just like us.
To get out and walk in the rain.
I know. We drove all the way up here. We drove, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe an hour out of the way if we're heading back that direction. And the batteries are almost charged right now, so that's a good thing from the generator. We did call Winnebago and see what we could do, and we can't get an appointment. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to do there. And so we have decided that driving to the most northern point where St. Anthony, where the Viking settlement was, I think maybe that might be a mistake and to be that far away from civilization. So we're going to head back across Gros Morne and then head towards Twilling Gate, which is the way that we'll wrap back down towards St. John's. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's a great plan.
And we'll just make the most of it. We'll see what happens. You know, we were joking out there that said something in that cave, said it back to me that they thought that Winnebago sucked too. It is frustrating to have a piece of equipment that they've known is an issue, and it's given so many problems. And this thing's still 2 years old now almost, and it's still giving issues. For it to cause changes to our plan.
Well, for it to, I don't know, for it to be able to catch on fire and ruin your whole RV, you know, it's just, you know, uncalled for, if you ask me. I mean, they shouldn't put something in a van that could do that in the first place.
So if you try to get and we're not whining, we are whining. We are whining. Maybe we deserve to whine. Yeah. But if the earliest appointment we can get to get this repaired, the week before Christmas, so the last week of December. It's the earliest appointment right now. You can go and do the walk-in, but they said you don't even know if it might be 7 days. It might be 2 weeks. So you know, and who wants to stay in a hotel in Iowa for 2 weeks? Maybe a younger Owen would have let this ruin our trip, but I'm not going to let it ruin our trip. We are just going to go have the time of our life, and we're here. Can't leave till our ferry leaves anyway, so we're just going to go play around in Newfoundland and have a good time. That's right. If we're whining, we're really sorry. We won't whine tomorrow. We won't, probably not. I'll get a good night's sleep and all will be good. Well, right now I'm whining like a mother, aren't I? Yeah. You need to put your beach sail on. We'll do. Alrighty. We're out of here.